I really, really like the show. I really like the characters. I'm really invested in watching it. I don't know if it's because I'm in it or if it's just really as good as I think it is. I think it's as good as I think it is. I've been around a long time, and so I really like it.
Thank you, Harold, for coming the time to talk to us.
Hi, Lucia. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, thank you. So first of all, I actually keep recommending this show to everyone, and then everyone hates me because they're like, I didn't have that much time, and now I'm like hooked and binge watching this. So,
well, thank you, Lucia. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Everyone hates you.
Got it. Welcome. Thank you.
Right? Good and bad at the same time.
Yeah,
so, the question is, why do you think this show works so well?
I'll be honest. I think the show works really well because even though it's like called a horror show, it really is about the characters. All right, and I think that there are so many types of people in this situation that you can see the horror from many different points of view, and that gives lots of people an inroad into the show. And so I think that's really the reason that it works. That at the end of the day, the jump scares are fun and it's scary, but if you don't vibe with the people, it doesn't really mean anything. And so I think John has done a really great job of developing these characters, and I think all the actors have come in and really embodied these characters, and so you feel like you're following real people through a really, really scary journey. So I think that's why it works, but or it's magic. I don't know, Lucia.
No, I agree. I mean, I think that everyone's reactions could be like a really normal reaction to a situation so unrealistic, such as this one. So.
Got it right. That's
so I remember you mentioned in another interview that in the beginning they didn't really want anyone from the cast of Lost. So How did you arrive to the project in the end?
I think my friend Seth Yankovic is the casting director, and when he was talking to me about it, he was like, I think that this character is something that you could play really, really well. It feels like something you could do. And so between him talking to our creators, Jack Bender, Jeff Pinkner, and John, and me actually talking to them, I think somewhere we all arrived at, yeah, it does make sense him doing this role. This really does make sense, and it was just a bunch of conversations. That's really what it was at the end of the day. I don't know what they had in their mind originally. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, I get this guy. I get what he's doing. I get how it makes sense, and they dug my vision of it, and I dug their vision of it, and we all knew how each other worked. Do you know what I mean? I'd worked with Jack and John. With Jack and Jeff for so many years before. So they trusted me with the work, and I trusted them with being able to really shape the piece. And then, that's a great thing to have that kind of trust in the beginning. So.
Yeah, and I love your character because he has such a really, really hard job, and he needs to keep everyone together. And going into this new season of From, how would you say that Boyd has changed and evolved throughout the seasons?
Well, the thing I think is really interesting is that I don't know if Boyd has changed so much, but the town keeps evolving, and so he has to keep pivoting. Like he's really on his heels, and like he's like a ballerina. It's like every time he turns around, it's like a new, like he's oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? And so he's really trying everything he can while he's still dealing with the Parkinson's that's coming on, while he's still dealing with the loss of his wife, new people in the town. And so I think he is still the same, doggedly trying to get everyone out of there. And I think that the town just keeps, they're really messing with him, and they just keep throwing new curveballs. And this season, they just throw so much at him that I think, he is explosive, or just on the edge of explosion for the whole season. Like Like he might literally just self-combust in the middle of the street. Yeah, it's too much.
Completely. My editor really wanted me to ask you because he's such a huge fan of Lost, such as me as well. He wanted me to ask you about the main differences of shooting a show back then and shooting a show, right now. I mean, in aspects and in terms of production mainly.
Look, shooting the show, Lucia, feels pretty similar, right? The shooting the show doesn't feel that much different now. Instead of shooting on film, we actually shoot on digital form, so we get a chance to take more shots. But we all now, Jack, we all know better, so we make better choices now. So we don't actually need to shoot as much as we did back then when we shot Lost. Also, when we shot Lost, a lot of the things that were happening in the world were new. There were like chat rooms. There wasn't social media, do you know what I mean? But there were like chat rooms, and you can go online and you can kind of talk about it. And so there was kind of a relationship with the show that felt really immediate, but now it really is immediate. Like, you know what I mean? The show comes on and 10 seconds later, somebody's like, Boyd, I hate you. You're, like right away. It's like, oh, snap. Like, this is really different. So that part of it is really different. And also when we shot Lost, we shot so many episodes. Like, the story just kept going and changing. And here it's really concise. It's quick. We get in, we get out, we do our job, and then we roll out. And so then the audience, even though your friends don't like you right now, and they will like you again, because you're a really lovely lady, I can tell. They're not investing all of their time in it. They're just in 10 episodes, they get in and they get out. So
right. And I was going to ask you about spoilers because I remember I had the book, The Philosophy Behind Lost, and there were like special things back then, but as you said before, it was not this immediate. Did you ever suffer like a spoiler or something like, oh no, someone did something terrible, they spoiled? Did you suffer? Because From is really like, you need to watch out for every kind of spoiler.
A little bit, but here's the thing that I think is really, really good. I think, some of the streamers, they release all of their episodes right at once. And I know the audience really likes that they like to look at, but that's how you get a lot of spoilers, right? Yeah. If you haven't seen it, you'll go on some social media platform and they'll say, oh, Tan Chen did, or Ricky, or Ellis did, or somebody did, and then it'll be ruined for the whole thing. But here we get 10 weeks to play together, and you don't get all the spoilers. You might get a spoiler about an episode, but not the whole season. And I really like that we do that. I know it's really frustrating for some people. I get it, but we get 10 weeks to hang out together and be scared and talk about crazy stuff. And I like that better than like it just coming out in a day and then, somebody watches it the whole day and then they're writing, they're doing YouTube videos about the whole season. It's like,
yes.
It's like,
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And well, finally, last question to wrap up. Did you imagine while you were, reading the script or talking about the project in the beginning, the reception that it was going to have? Even Stephen King recommended this. Really, everyone loves it. So did you imagine this reception?
I didn't in the beginning. I was really cautious about it. I liked it a lot, but I was so cautious. It's, the world is funny, and like there's so many TV shows and people get interested in things and then leave it alone. And once the audience started responding the way that I thought they should, because I really, really like the show. I really like the characters. I'm really invested in watching it. I don't know if it's because I'm in it or if it's just really as good as I think it is. I think it's as good as I think it is. I've been around a long time, and so I really like it, but I didn't expect that right away that it was going to. But once it started, like now I expect everybody to like it. I expect all of your friends to be like, yeah, we like it. You're right. Yes, you're smarter than all of us, Lucia. Thank you.
Yes. That's my point. Exactly.
That's it, right. And that should be your point.
Thank you so much, Harold, for your time.
Thank you.
I'm loving the show. And I also have to say, Romeo and Juliet is one of my favorite films for all time. And your Mercutio is like literally on my top of performances, of everyone. So
That's very kind. Thank you
just
very
wanted
much.
to say that. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for everything.
I appreciate you. Bye.